Hey guys, Cody Wilson, the assistant coach. Sorry I hadn't had a video in a while. I know that there's been a lot of content put out there over the last few weeks of this coronavirus deal, and you'd think I'd have a lot of free time to do that, but it just so happened that me and my wife were planning on moving, and we were fortunate enough to get jobs and end up actually moving about 1,200 miles from Louisiana to Colorado. So that's why I've not been as active, but today I wanted to talk to you about play action passes and the four basic types of naked. So for me, I put nakeds in the realm of play action passes, and there are four basic types. And these basic types I learned when I was working at junior college back in 2013. Nakeds were our base form of play actions. And the base form is one that we probably are all familiar with, which I'm pulling up here. It's just your typical, you've got a go route on the outside with a flat route. Here we go. It's just being slow pulling up. So we've got faking a outside run to the left side, so you could do like a mid zone, a stretch zone. You could do like a pin and pull, but in this scenario, we're just doing like stretch zone to the left, and we're booting to the right. So we've got our Z in this situation running a go route, and he's basically clearing out for these other routes. Now, in the progression, the way that I taught it, we called this face. So if it hits you in the face, you can throw it, but otherwise, you're reading 1, 2, and he would be 3 if you wanted to, but this X is going to have a hard time getting across the field. So it was really 1, 2, and then the quarterback himself was 3 on the run. So the Y here, he's like blocking down 1,001, 1,002, and he's rolling back out. He's kind of spinning. So if he's blocking down here, we would want him count 1,001, 1,002, and we would want him to open up to the quarterback. So that means he needs to pivot off his right foot and open his left foot up so that he can keep eyes on the quarterback. So if he needs to get the ball quickly, he can. We don't want to turn away from the quarterback on that. So that was an important coaching point there on the Y. Now, H and X are both just getting across the field. H is trying to get across at about 8 yards. X is trying to get across at about 12 yards, give or take. And this is the very traditional version of a naked. This is one that most of you guys have seen, you've done before, and this is the way that we started things there when I was at East Central. So just to show you another example or two of it, though, we ran it out of different formations where if we had 3 receivers to the side that we were rolling out to, we keep it basically the same with the go route, the flat route from, bang release in here, and we've got the crosser, but we took that middle receiver and we put him on a post to help clear out a little bit for this crossing route here. So you still got the same idea. Now again, I'm showing you these out of under center look because that's the kind of offense that we were. Then we were a one back multiple formation pro style kind of offense. I know that's a lot of words going on there, but that's really what we were. Now, if you wanted to make that more of a gun look, this is how I would do it out of the gun. Here you've got 10 personnel. You're faking like an outside zone, jet type thing with your running back here. And what I would do is I would have the quarterback shuffle, almost like you're doing power read with the running back here. That's why I have this little part coming over to try to kind of help the timing of it, because the timing and the run action are the two things that make play action hard out of the gun. Things happen quicker from the gun than they do under center, and then the run action, like it's really hard to give that run action fake for defenses to bite on it before you get into the play action. So I think the shuffle here really helps both of those things. But then you've got the same concept going on here. We've got the clear out, whether it hits you in the face or not. Got option 1, option 2. X, you can tell him whatever you want to make him happy. You can tell him he's option 3, but tell the quarterback is option 3, so that you make sure this guy keeps running. This X is second crosser. He's hardly ever going to get the ball. If he does, it's going to be a fluke kind of deal, busted coverage, quarterback, had to shake a tackle or two back here, kind of thing. It's just not going to happen very often. So again, that's the base way. I think that's the way everybody is familiar with. Now, this was the way that we were very successful running it, and I think it applies really well with people that like to run split zone and split stretch and that cross flow in the backfield. We were a multiple tight end team, so we would line up in this tray look here with a tight end wing trips here, and we would, again, whether it be a stretch zone with the cutback or maybe a pin and pull type look, those were kind of our two base run plays at the time. We'd have everybody blocking like zone to the left. We'd get H coming across like he's going to kick out this backside end. He misses, gives him a little wiggle, and he gets into the flat. So instead of having the tight end here blocking down and releasing, he's just coming across from here. Everybody else is still doing the same thing. We've got our X here getting vertical. He can hit you in the face. You can throw it if it hits you in the face. We've got the flat route. We've got both of our crossers. And again, we're booting over like this. So it's 1, 2, quarterback is 3. Now, this one I only gave one other option for how maybe you would do it out of the gun. And I did it out of a look that's probably more like what most of you would run out of some of you probably call this 11 personnel. I call it 20 personnel, where you've got that sniffer. He's coming across, so we've got a split zone type action here. And also, I didn't point this out on the last one, but the running back here, have him basically running like a bubble. If you want him to kind of help block on the backside, you can, but I think you get a little bit more out of his effort and the angle that he's going wide here to affect the defense than like trying to go wide and then planting and trying to block right here. But again, that's just me. And he provides another outlet if you get in trouble. Quarterback can, reverse field again and maybe get him the ball, or maybe he can become a lead blocker or a pin block or something. But that's just a quick note on the running back. But again, we've got the go route, hit you in the face, flat route, crosser, quarterback. Everybody's still in the same place, and that's what I like about this. One minor change, but everything stays the same for the quarterback. And that was something that I learned in my time at that junior college is, who do you want to make things easy for? Do you want to make it easy on the quarterback, on the O-line, on receivers, what have you? Well, when you have everybody getting in the same place like this, just doing it in a different way, you make things easy on the quarterback. And I think that's something a lot of us can appreciate these days. All right. The next one that I have here is a naked mesh. Now, your air raid guys will really like this, but it does look weird that I have a mesh coming out of a 13 personnel formation here. So we got tight end wing play side, tight end to the backside as well. Doing the same kind of thing. Whatever that run action is that you want to give, you could do. The aiming point doesn't really matter. I would say wider is probably best on this. But whatever run action you want to fake back here, we're booting out. We've still got somebody getting deep here. The Z is running a corner. He's kind of coming inside just a little bit. The Y and the H are on your mesh. So H is your number 1 read. X getting across the field is number 2 read. Z would just be if it hits you in the face. And then again, quarterback is number 3. So Y would be kind of like an outlet, kind of like on these gun looks that I've showed you with the running back getting out backside. He could be a release. You could also build in, and I didn't have this in here, you could also build in where he turns this up into a wheel route. And maybe you hold some extra guys in here on protection. Maybe you keep the Z in here on protection to help pin down so that you can get this in there and just have a 3-man route and have the H, X, and the Y so that you can get that shot play. If you run this a lot, that would be a kind of what comes next, building a play on a play kind of deal that you could bring after this. And again, taking a look at it from the gun. Again, I've got doubles, just running your regular mesh, thing you have to remember is the meshers have to be closer to the line of scrimmage, excuse me, to the end man on the line of scrimmage for the timing to work out. So you want that Y and H to be probably like 3, maybe 5 yards at max away from the tackle. And again, that kind of depends on, you know, your splits of the line. If you've got really wide splits for the line, you probably want the split for these slot receivers to be more like 3 yards. If they're tighter splits, more like 1.5, 2 foot splits, 5 yards might work. You still might want to squeeze it in. But if you have those big 3 and 5 foot splits, if you're one of those kind of air raid guys, then obviously they've got to be closer, because this H has got to be able to get over there. Okay, now the key thing about running the mesh this way is who's on top and who's underneath. The Y, whoever's coming from the right, he's basically a picker. That's what we want him to do here. So he's going to run across. He's going to be on top. H is going to be coming underneath. So we've got the Y on top, H coming underneath to try to pick and rub him free. The Y is kind of setting the pick for the H. As far as the depth, when you traditionally run mesh just from the gun as a straight drop back pass, you want the guy setting the mesh, in this case the Y, at 6 yards deep, and then it's the H's responsibility, the guy coming underneath, to rub across him. So Y normally sets the depth, the guy on the right and the guy on the left normally has to adjust to him. When you're running the play action like this, though, I think it's really important to get across, so I would shorten that to Y setting it at 4, and then the H getting across. That just helps his angle get across a little quicker, and that's something you can play with, but that's the way that I would do it. And again, the same structure. We've got the go route, we've got a flat route, a crosser, and the quarterback is 3. And again, like I said, you can do something with this Y as a release valve, or turning him up the field later if you want to. Okay, there's one more, and it's just running corner. Okay, it's a corner version, so it looks kind of like that mesh did, but we don't have a mesher. Here again, this was one of our basic formations when I was at the JUCO. It was a tight end wing with 2 receivers on the backside, a twins look here, a tight end wing here, where we're getting the corner, so we're still getting somebody in this deep area. The same way we were with all these go routes, we're getting people in the same areas on the field, the same bubbles of space, same pieces of grass. Okay, H is going to come down, and you can switch these up by a simple call. You can have one do it the other way if you wanted H to run the corner and Y to still be in the flat. That's something you can do, but we still got this block down, pivot turn towards the quarterback, open up so you can see your face getting out into the flat, and we've got our 2 crossers backside. So again, same basic principles, just one little change is going to make these different. And then from the gun, here's a look I did from there. Now, this looks a little bit more like running spot. If you run spot as a drop back concept, or snag, almost like a 3-man snag. We just don't have the 3rd man. The quarterback is the 3rd man. We're faking the run fake here. We're running this little inside stop pivot and turning back outside with the Z. And then the Y is on the corner, and we've got our crossers backside. So that's the different ways that you could do it. And again, there's many more ways, but that's a way that I would first attempt to do it out of the gun. And again, just one more thing about terminology and naming them. Okay, this first way we looked at here is just naked. Okay, so whatever you want to call it. If running zone for you is Indianapolis or Colts or Indo or whatever, Zorro, Zulu, Colt, whatever you call it, it would be that word and naked. Okay, that's all you have to do. Then when you run the second version where it's a split zone look, however it is that you word that split zone, I would say that. So like Colt, bend, naked or something. If bend is the word that makes you go and run split zone, for me it would just be H naked. Okay, as you can see here by the name H naked, that's my H guy. I tag the person that I want to run backside and be my split zone guy. So here it's just zone H naked. Then on the mesh, it would just be naked mesh. So like zone or stretch, naked mesh. And then for the corner, we've got naked, and you're just going to tag the person you want on the corner. So zone naked Y corner, zone naked H corner, zone naked Z corner, however you want to word it, whoever you want running that corner route. But again, these are just some of the base ways that I run those. I hope that maybe you found that informational. Probably most of us has done that primary way, that first way that I showed you, but maybe not done some of these other ones, and they're good ways to tie in, you know, other concepts that you do, give some different variations to what it is you're doing, maybe tie into other run concepts that you have in there. And there are more ways that we can do play action, and I plan on making a video about some of those coming up soon. But I hope you enjoyed this. Please give it a like and a share, subscribe if you want to see some more. I'm going to try to bring more content for the next few months as we get into summer. Now that I'm settled here in Colorado, I should have the ability to be able to do that a lot better, since I'm not, you know, loading up a U-Haul and driving across the country in the middle of a pandemic anymore. But again, Cody Wilson is assistant coach. I'm here to make you the best coach you can be.